quick ad. With Time Twist, you get exciting, bizarre, and significant historical events delivered to your phone every single day. Enjoying this episode? There's so much more in the app. You'll find the link in the show notes. Let's get started.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're doing something a bit different. Forget focusing on just one topic. We're diving deep into a single date. June 15th.
Ah, okay. June 15th. Interesting approach.
Yeah, get ready for, well, a pretty fascinating ride.
Yeah.
As we uncover the unexpected ways this seemingly ordinary day is just packed with extraordinary history.
Right. We've pulled together a real mix, haven't we? A
Yeah.
truly diverse collection of pivotal moments all happening on this one day.
Exactly.
It's like taking a slice through time, showing these surprising echoes and contrasts across centuries, across totally different fields.
Totally. And our mission for you today, the listener, is to go beyond just knowing these things happen. We want you to see the underlying connections.
Even if they seem totally unrelated at first glance.
Right. We want those aha moments where you sort of see history in a new light. And, keep it engaging, definitely not overwhelming. Okay, so where do we even start with this incredible day?
Well, maybe let's begin with moments that established or challenged the fundamental ways we organize societies, foundational stuff.
Okay.
We're looking at two key events here, separated by almost, 8 centuries?
Okay, first up, 1215, way back. Picture it. King John of England, not exactly Mr. Popular, finds himself under huge pressure from these rebellious barons. And the result, June 15th, Runnymede, he seals the Magna Carta. Now, this sounds like dry history, maybe.
But it's really not.
No, its impact is massive, even today.
Absolutely. The crucial thing about Magna Carta, I think, is how it limited the king's absolute power. It was a huge step.
Yeah.
It established, really clearly for the time, this idea that even the ruler has to follow the law. A cornerstone, for modern rights, for justice.
And it wasn't like he just decided to be nice.
No, that's the insightful bit. It came from pressure, from these powerful barons demanding limits. It shows that constant push and pull and how democratic ideas actually develop.
Okay, now let's jump forward. Way forward. June 15th, 2008, the Republic of Kosovo.
Right, a new nation, relatively speaking, in a place with a very complex, often difficult history.
And on this day, they enact their constitution. Now, first glance, medieval charter, 21st century constitution, seems like a stretch.
But look at the bigger picture. There's a real resonance there. Kosovo's constitution, like Magna Carta all those centuries before, it's a foundational document.
Okay.
It asserts the rights of its people, sets up the framework for how they'll govern themselves. It's another case of a group striving for self-determination.
The right to rule themselves.
Exactly. Laying down the basic rules. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it, how often these moments, these bedrock moments, happen during big upheavals or when new states are forming.
It really does. Okay, let's shift gears completely now. A different kind of foundation, or maybe destruction, and the resilience that comes after.
Indeed. June 15th has also seen these huge events underscoring, nature's raw power, but also our human ability to bounce back.
1991, Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines. It just erupted with incredible force.
Huge event.
Yeah, one of the biggest volcanic events of the 20th century. I remember seeing the news reports, the sheer scale of the ash, the landscape just changed.
And beyond the massive physical destruction, which actually had temporary effects on global climate, believe it or not.
Wow.
The amount scientists learned. They got this unprecedented look at volcanic processes. But like you said, destruction isn't the whole story.
No, there's a sequel. Because on June 15th, 1996, Manchester, UK, a very different kind of
A
explosion.
massive IRA bomb right in the city center.
The damage was just enormous.
Yet, and this is really crucial, remarkably, nobody was killed.
Which is almost unbelievable given the size of the blast.
It really is. But what came next was also pretty remarkable. This extraordinary period of urban renewal. Manchester didn't just, patch things up.
No, it transformed.
Yeah, it underwent this significant transformation, came out looking more modern, more dynamic. So if you link that back to Pinatubo.
You see this theme.
Exactly. This powerful recurring theme. Even when faced with immense devastation, natural or human-caused, there's this deep human drive towards renewal, sometimes even transformation. What stands out to you there?
It's that spirit, isn't it? That refusal to just be defined by the disaster. Okay, moving from the earth shaking to, defying gravity, conquering the skies. June 15th has some amazing aviation connections.
It really does. And it shows both sides. the incredible triumphs, but also the inherent risks involved in pushing those limits.
Let's start with something just mind-blowing. June 15th, 2012, Nick Wallenda, tightrope. Across Niagara Falls.
Without a net.
Without a safety net. I mean, can you even imagine the focus, the sheer guts it took? Millions watched.
An absolutely stunning display of human skill, courage, just overcoming what most of us think is impossible.
But then you look back, way back, to the very early days.
Much riskier times.
Yeah. June 15th, 1785, Jean-François Pilastre de Rosier, he tries to be the first to cross the English Channel in a hot air balloon.
And tragically.
It ends in disaster. He becomes the very first person killed in an air crash. It's really sobering thinking about the risks those pioneers took.
That stark contrast, doesn't it? Wallenda's success to Rosier's tragic failure. It just underscores the dangers, both driven by that same ambition, that desire to achieve something amazing in the air, but with such different outcomes. Makes you appreciate the technology, the safety we have now.
Definitely. And bridging that gap between the early risks and modern stunts, another huge moment on June 15th, 1919.
David Cockab Brown.
John Alcock and Arthur Brown, first non-stop transatlantic flight. Think about that. No radar, no autopilot.
Just two guys in a pretty basic plane.
Navigating from Newfoundland to Ireland with just a compass and sheer grit.
A truly landmark achievement. It basically shrank the world in a way that was almost unimaginable just decades before.
Yeah.
It really shows how fast technology could move, often built on the bravery and sometimes the sacrifices of those earlier pioneers. But what's fascinating is that drive, that human ambition to explore and connect, that stays constant.
Absolutely, even if the tools change. Okay, now for something a bit quirkier. Some unexpected, yet still foundational events on this date.
Right. June 15th isn't all serious statecraft and aviation firsts. It has its odd moments.
Like the Pig War, which started on June 15th, 1859, San Juan Islands.
Ah, the Pig War. Always gets a mention.
It does. A border dispute, U.S. versus Britain. Kicked off because an American farmer shot a British pig.
A pig that kept wandering onto his potato patch.
Exactly. And what's amazing, and kind of funny,
is that even though things escalated, troops were sent.
the only casualty was the pig.
Just the pig. No humans harmed. It's just this bizarre but, weirdly illuminating example of how tiny things can snowball into international incidents.
Totally. And speaking of unexpected outcomes, Edward Muybridge, 1878.
Right. The galloping horse photos.
He wasn't trying to invent movies, but his motion photography on June 15th that year, it proved all four hooves leave the ground.
Settled a bet, basically, or a debate.
Yeah, but in doing so, he kind of laid the groundwork for cinema.
Exactly. That's the really significant part. It wasn't just about the horses. His work, capturing those sequential images, was essential for developing motion pictures.
So this very specific question about horse legs
had this massive lasting impact on a huge global art form. A great example of how foundational discoveries popped up in unexpected places.
And then let's look up, way up, June 15th, 2002.
The asteroid.
Yeah, a pretty big asteroid zipped past Earth. Alarmingly close, apparently.
A near miss. Most of us probably had no idea at the time.
Gives you pause, doesn't it?
It's a potent reminder, yeah. Of potential cosmic surprises, things totally outside our control, how a tiny shift in trajectory.
History could have been very different.
Very different. Makes you think about that constant, mostly unseen cosmic dance happening all around us.
Definitely a humbling thought. Okay, let's turn back to Earth, specifically to shifts in power and influence.
Right. June 15th has seen some significant shifts there, too, in tech, in sports.
2006, Bill Gates, a huge figure in tech, obviously. He announces he's stepping back from the day-to-day at Microsoft.
To focus on philanthropy. The Gates Foundation.
Yeah, a really monumental decision with huge implications.
Absolutely. Here's someone who basically changed how we all use computers.
Right.
Globally. And he makes this conscious choice to pivot towards tackling these massive global issues. Poverty, disease. It's a powerful example of how someone with immense influence can redirect it towards completely different but equally huge goals. Moving from code to, well, real-world human challenges.
And then, different field entirely, June 15th, 1954, UEFA is founded.
Union of European Football Associations.
If you don't follow football, maybe this sounds like, just administrative stuff.
But it had a massive impact.
Right.
Really massive.
How so?
UEFA's creation gave European football a unified structure.
Yeah.
And that directly led to things like the Champions League, the European Championship, the Euros.
Ah, okay. Huge tournaments.
Huge. Deeply embedded in European culture now, sporting identity. It shapes how millions spend their time, how they connect with nations, clubs. a prime example of how setting up these governing bodies can elevate whole industries, whole passions.
It's interesting that element of deliberate action in both cases. Gates' personal choice, the collective effort to organize football, both with huge lasting effects. Okay, let's look at culture and place now.
Yes, June 15th also marks key moments in the birth of cities and the birth of influential artists.
Go way back again, 1300. The city of Bilbao is founded.
Starts as a medieval trading post. Pretty humble beginnings.
And look at it today, a vibrant, modern city. And the Guggenheim Museum is such a symbol of that transformation, isn't it?
It really is. Bilbao's story is fascinating, the evolution from commerce to, embracing high art, contemporary culture. The Guggenheim was a real catalyst there, reshaping its identity, putting it on the global map.
And on a totally different cultural note, June 15th, 1843, birth date of Edvard Grieg.
The great Norwegian composer.
His music is just so evocative. You hear it, you instantly picture something.
You really do. Those lush, romantic melodies, they're just tied so deeply to Norway's spirit, its landscapes. Think of Morning Mood from Peer Gynt.
Instantly recognizable.
Yeah, just transports you. He left this enduring legacy, creating a really distinct national sound in classical music. Still loved, still performed.
Beautiful. Okay, as we near the end of our dive into this single day, let's touch on some other individuals born on June 15th, people who left their own legacies.
Yeah, this date brought us figures who rose to influence in politics, entertainment, all sorts.
1953. Xi Jinping, the current leader of China, was born. Given China's role today, that's obviously significant.
Absolutely. And considering his background, his early life during the Cultural Revolution, his rise to lead a global superpower is, well, a remarkable story. Complex, but remarkable.
Then, shifting gears dramatically, June 15th, 1969, Ice Cube is born.
From NWA to Hollywood.
Exactly. Groundbreaking rap, then this long, successful acting career. Talk about versatile.
He really embodies that reinvention idea, doesn't he? Multi-talented, making a mark across different parts of pop culture.
And the talent keeps coming. Neil Patrick Harris, born June 15th, 1973.
And PH.
Actor, singer, host, magician. A true triple threat, maybe quadruple threat. He seems like the quintessential modern showman.
Incredibly versatile, yeah. Always engaging, whatever he's doing.
And we shouldn't forget Nadine Coyle, also born on this day, from Girls Aloud.
Yes. A key voice in that group.
Definitely defined a certain sound of early 2000s pop, didn't she?
Played a big part, absolutely.
So a lot of births. But finally, as we reflect on this packed day, we should also remember those we lost on June 15th and their legacies.
Yes, it's important. June 15th also marks the passing of people whose impact definitely still resonates.
Back to 1389, Prince Lazar of Serbia dies in the Battle of Kosovo.
A pivotal moment in Serbian history.
His sacrifice became just central to Serbian national identity. Still honored today, centuries later. It's amazing how one event, one person, can get woven so deeply into a nation's story.
That battle, his death, it's had this incredibly profound, lasting impact on Serbian history, on collective memory. Shows the power of sacrifice in shaping those national narratives.
More recently, June 15th, 2000, we lost Jim Varney.
Ernest. No, what you mean?
Exactly. Beloved by so many as Ernest P. Worrell. He brought a lot of laughter, but also, surprising warmth to roles like Slinky Dog in Toy Story.
He really did. He had this unique way of connecting with audiences through comedy, but with real heart underneath. Left a legacy of laughter.
And finally, someone truly groundbreaking. Henry Ossian Flipper.
West Point graduate.
On June 15th, 1877, he becomes the first African-American graduate of West Point. Think about that context. Born into slavery.
An incredible achievement against immense adversity, immense prejudice.
Just inspiring. His legacy is one of dignity, strength, perseverance.
Absolutely. A monumental step forward, a powerful testament to his determination against systemic racism. A crucial reminder, too, of that ongoing journey towards equality.
So there it is, June 15th, a single date. Brimming with huge moments. Law, nature, aviation, quirky history, power shifts, culture, births, deaths, legacies. It's an astonishing tapestry when you lay it all out.
It really is. It just powerfully shows how one seemingly ordinary day on the calendar can be this nexus point for incredibly significant events across such a diverse range of human experience.
And that brings us to our final thought for you, the listener. Just take a second and consider. How different might our world be if even one of these June 15th events had gone differently?
Makes you think.
And what other dates that seem totally unremarkable, might hold similar, extraordinary, interconnected histories just waiting for us to uncover them? Definitely something to mull over.